all so very much for being here tonight. I am so sorry, but we do not have a quorum, so we are not able to go forward with the board meeting. We are so thankful for everyone who's come out for board honors, and those are going to continue. We can't have the board. Only one board member can be a part of that. But I want this to be no reflection whatsoever. We want to celebrate each and every one of you for your accomplishment and dedication to this district. So I can't call the meeting to order. This is a first, so we're kind of winging it, guys. But we are going to start with our Pledge of Allegiance. And tonight, we are honored to have our Pledge of Allegiance to be led by an outstanding student from Eastlake High School. Daniel Zaid Gomez has never missed a day of school or been tardy. Daniel is motivated to attend school by his great teachers who inspire him to learn, and his deep interest in the school's career and technical education law enforcement program. Above all, Daniel's parents, particularly his mom, have instilled in him the value of education and how doing well in school will help him achieve what he wants later in life. Daniel plans to maintain his exemplary attendance record during his senior year. As one of the law enforcement program's top students, he has been selected to receive high-end training, helping to keep our district safe by working security at the Student Activities Complex and other events and receiving real-life experience. He is on track to graduate with a Level 3 certification that will allow him to find employment as a security officer while he attends college and studies for a career in law enforcement or nursing. Daniel hopes to serve as a role model not only for other Falcons, but also for his little brother Emiliano, an 8th grader at Eastlake Middle School. Congratulations, Daniel, and well done to your mom and dad. Thank you for being here for our attendance. Please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and the republic that just stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all.
Thank you, Daniel. Can we have a round of applause for Daniel? Okay, we have an update. One of our board members will be here in 20 to 30 minutes. And so in that time, we are going to go ahead and proceed with board honors. And that way we can call the board meeting to order once she arrives. Okay? Yes.
Good evening, Vice President Nakata and Superintendent Mr. Vasquez. My name is Daniel Escobar, Chief Communications Officer for the district, and it is my pleasure to introduce tonight's recognitions. If I can please have you, Mrs. Nakata, Mr. Vasquez, and members of our cabinet team, please step forward so that we can recognize our honorees for this evening. And before we begin those recognitions, I'd like to invite our pledge student, Daniel Gomez, to take a photo with Mr. Vasquez, our cabinet, and Mrs. Nakata, right in the center. Thank you again so much. Our first recognition is for an SISD student who was a finalist in the 2024 Do the Right Thing National Essay Contest. Do the Right Thing gives middle school students the chance to speak out about how violence affects their lives and share their ideas about how to prevent and stop it. In July, this student traveled to Washington, D.C. to meet with lawmakers and discuss bullying and violence prevention. Congratulations to Maximus Smith. He is joined by his teacher, Sonia Varela. If we can have the two of you back to the front for a photo. Just a quick note that the photos taken by our district photographer, Mr. Largo, will be posted on the district website. There is a smiley face icon. Go ahead. Congratulations once again. That smiley face icon will take you to SmugMug, where you can download free high-resolution copies of these photos. Next, we honor 4 students who were named to the All-State One-Act Play Honor Crew. These students are some of the state's top technical theater crew members. In late May, they had the opportunity to work as a technical crew for the UIL State One-Act Play competition, which was held in Austin. The students worked behind the scenes and were responsible for ensuring the efficiency, flow, and all technical aspects of theater productions. Congratulations to these outstanding students. From Pebble Hills High School, Brianna Aldaz. Zenaida Ramirez. Their teacher, Rosie Sanchez. From Montwood High School, Joaquin Porras. Dulce Torres. And their teacher, Rosa Gutierrez. If we can have you back to the front for a photo, please. Congratulations once again. The next recognition honors a Montwood High School choir student who was awarded the Gold Medal Outstanding Performer Award at the 2024 UIL Texas State Solo and Ensemble Contest. Nearly 600 SISD students qualified to participate in this year's event, which was also held in Austin. Congratulations to, again, Joaquin Porras. And his teacher, Nabil Gonzalez. If we can have you back up front for a photo, please. Congratulations once again. Next, we will recognize Eastlake High School's trumpet ensemble for performing at the 2024 International Trumpet Guild Convention in Anaheim, California. The ensemble was selected to perform at the convention after undergoing a rigorous audition process. During the convention, students showcased their talents to world-renowned trumpet players and took part in clinics. Congratulations to these exceptional musicians. They, absolutely. Enrico Galano. David Guerrero. Chris Longoria. Sofia Melendez. Pablo Rodriguez. Zizak Soto. Their directors, Celeste Colette and Jesus Perez. Congratulations once again. For our first special presentation, we recognize members of the SISD 2017 Bond Accountability Committee. Tonight, the committee will provide its final report on the implementation of Bond 2017 to the Board of Trustees. For the past few years, this committee, consisting of independent citizens, has worked diligently to ensure public oversight of all aspects of Bond 2017. Thanks to their support, SISD has expanded and improved district facilities to create a safe learning environment where every student can succeed. The committee members that were able to join us tonight are Amanda Gonzalez, Marianne Paez, and Committee Chair Robert Alvarez. Congratulations and thank you once again. Our final special presentation celebrates employees who have achieved milestones in our district over the last year. These dedicated Team SISD members have served for 25, 30, 35 years. The amazing educators and staff members who have served for 25 years began working in SISD in 1999 when the district had 26 schools and 25,305 students. The dedicated individuals who have served for 30 years joined the team in 1994 when the district had 18 schools and some 18,880 students. The outstanding staff members who joined 35 years ago in 1989 served when there were 13,000 students and only 11 campuses. And looking back 4 decades to 1984, there was a couple of employees that were unable to join us. However, when they joined the school district in Team SISD, we had 7,336 students and only 8 schools. Reflecting on the moment when these employees joined the district brings back memories of a different time. They cheered for Team USA during the Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, a long time ago. Not the upcoming. Watched on TV as the Berlin Wall came down, and some celebrated the Dallas Cowboys' victory over the Buffalo Bills in Super Bowl 28. They also rang in the new millennium, anticipating the Y2K disaster that thankfully never happened. Over numerous years, these outstanding SISD employees embarked on their careers, significantly contributing to the growth and success of our students and shaping the SISD that we now know and love today. We deeply value their dedication to Team SISD and their commitment to being all in for our future success. We'll begin with employees celebrating 25 years of service in SISD. From Clark Middle School, Jose Andazola. From Slider Middle School, Sonia Andrade. From Vista del Sol Environmental Science Academy, Julieta Arredondo. From Maintenance and Operations, David Carrasco. From Special Education, Sylvia Castañeda. From Ben Narbuth Elementary, Sara Castillo. From Keys Academy, Carmen Diaz. From Mission Early College High School, Lorena Dorantes. From our warehouse team, Alonso Flores. From our special education team, Penelope Flores. From Myrtle Cooper Elementary, Dora Gonzalez. From Pebble Hills High School, Hillary Hambrick. From Americas High School, Patricia Hernandez. From Clark Middle School, Victor Hernandez. From Loma Verde Elementary, Ana Job. From Slider Middle School, Sonja Kern. From Escontria STEAM Academy, Rocio Lopez. From Keys Academy, David Marquez. From Socorro High School, Mark Mumau. From our fine arts team, Wendy Mumau. From the Sierra Vista STEAM Academy, Beatriz Nava. From Butler Elementary, Lorena Nieto. From our financial services team, Susan Olson. From Chester Jordan Elementary, Angelica Ortiz. From Waco Elementary, Teresa Padilla. From Escontria STEAM Academy, Jose Quiroz. From Chester Jordan Elementary, Aurelio Rangel. From the Escontria STEAM Academy, Monica Reyes Guerrero. From Ben Narbuth Elementary, Martha Rodriguez. From Socorro Middle School, Jimmy Ruedas. From John Drugan School, Diana Sloan. From Escontria STEAM Academy, Blanca Oreño. And from Financial Services, Rene Vargas. We're going to pause here and take a photo with all of our employees celebrating 25 years. You can make your way up. We'll tell you, like our students, please hold your certificates facing the right direction. Look at Mr. Largo, smile. Are you good? I'm going to put David up. All right, everybody, certificates up, big smiles. Look at Octavius, please, real quick. There we go. Okay, keep smiling, keep smiling. Not that many. In Socorro, I have 50. But as I was reading through the names, I was like, this is one of the first I worked with all for a long time. When I first started doing this, I was like, oh. But now, yeah. Congratulations once again, and thank you so much for your service. Felicidades. We will continue with our employees celebrating 30 years of service, or the SISD class of 1994. From America's High School, Raquel Aguilar. Oscar Avila. From Montwood High School. From Ben Narberth Elementary, Lisa Herrera. From Antoine Middle School, Hector Juarez. From Dr. Sue Shook Elementary, Angelica Moreno. From Vista Sol Environmental Sciences Academy, Consuelo Nettles. From Management Information Services, Edna Ortega. From Human Resources and Risk Management, Cristina Quintanilla. From Socorro Middle School, Moises Soto. And from Captain Walter E. Clark Middle School, Benjamin Towns. If we can have you all back to the front for a photo, please. Congratulations once again, and thank you for your service. And we'll continue with our final group in recognitions for this evening, celebrating 35 years of service in Socorro ISD, our class of 1989. From Horizon Heights Elementary, Rosario Lascano. From Ernesto Sedna Fine Arts Academy, Raquel Martinez. From Socorro High School, Margaret McCarthy. And from Management Information Services, Hilda Miranda. Congratulations once again, and thank you so much for your service. And that concludes our recognitions. Thank you.
Start it over like normal. And we skip the Pledge of Allegiance. Good evening. Thank you all so much for being here this evening. And this regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of Socorro ISD is being called to order. The time is 6:43, and the date is Wednesday, August 21st, 2024. The meeting is called to order, and we have established a quorum. And item number 3 is we have completed the Pledge of Allegiance previously. So we will move to item number 3, interim superintendent's comments. Mr. Vasquez.
Good evening, Vice President Nájera, members of the board, and the SISD community. Thank you all for being here. I'd also like to wish President Nájera a happy birthday. Unfortunately, he fell ill for his birthday, so he wasn't able to attend, but we wish him a happy birthday. I'd like to start off with personal introductions. We have some new leaders in SISD. First, I'd like to introduce Dr. Jesse Sepulveda. He is our new principal at Rafael Hernando III Middle School. Thought I saw him a second ago. I'd also like to welcome Luz Ariano as the new assistant principal of Mission Ridge Elementary. Also like to introduce Christina Irma Reveco as the new assistant principal of O'Shea Kelleher Whole Child Academy. And finally, I'd like to introduce Jessie Aguirre as the new principal of Sergeant Carrasco Elementary School. Congratulations to our new leaders. I'd like to continue with our comments. I just want to let everybody know we did have a great start to the school year. I want to thank everyone in Team SISD. Our teachers and principals welcomed students back with positivity and enthusiasm, and the campuses had awesome support from campus and district administrators to help support. Thanks to all for making sure everything ran smoothly. I know that we are all in for an amazing year. While it was a great start, we did encounter a few issues that we're working to resolve, including some transportation issues, transfers, and overflows, but we're working diligently to get those resolved. We also we're working to fill in some special ed teacher vacancies. We are planning a job fair specifically for these special ed positions. Meanwhile, our special ed instructional aides, instructional coaches are at the campuses covering certain classes, in addition to substitute teachers who are continuing to train and support our teachers. We did experience some issues with the air conditioning this week as well in certain classrooms. The extreme heat has put a strain on the AC equipment and has caused some breakdowns. Maintenance and repairs for these air conditioning systems have been fully funded, and we are addressing those. Although even one is too many, we are at about 97-98% fully functioning. However, we are continuing to work through those challenges. Our district maintenance team is putting in a lot of hours to work through these issues. We understand the high priority and urgency of the situation, and they have been working nonstop to provide portable units to cool and ventilate the classrooms and to make sure that the rooms are as cool as they can be. I'd like to thank the hardworking maintenance and operations employees who are doing their very best to address this. I also have some great news to share regarding the 2024 STAR and EOC results. Although these results are not official as of yet, I'm proud to report that once again, the SISD students are on top of the charts among the El Paso area schools. Out of the 20 tested areas in STAR and EOC, Socorro ISD students ranked number 1 in 12 of those 20 tested areas. So we're very, very happy with them. I'm very proud of the accomplishments. We do anticipate a B rating with this overall score of 83. 82% of our campuses did earn either an A or a B rating, and we're proud to report that 12 of our campuses are A-rated. Yes. We saw big gains in our meets and masters levels in reading and math, and specifically on the Algebra 1 assessment. The top 8 schools and the top 15 out of the 18 middle schools ranked the highest in middle school performance across the city. So that's 15 out of the top 18. So overall, our scores show that our students and teachers are raising the academic bar and doing an excellent job. So thank you to teachers, students, administrators, and all campus staff. And finally, I'd like to recognize our district teachers of the year. Thank you to Veronica Collier from Elfida P. Chavez Elementary School. She did a tremendous job representing Team SISD at the Region 19 competition. She's an amazing administrator and a great representative for Team SISD. Also, a big congratulations to Mr. Chris Martin. He is from Colonel John O. Enzer Middle School. He was named the Region 19 Secondary Teacher of the Year. He's an incredible teacher, and we are so proud to have him represent Socorro ISD and the El Paso region at state. Best of luck to Mr. Martin, and I have a feeling he's going to do really well at the state level. So this concludes my comments for this evening.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vasquez. Item 4 and 5 were completed outside of the board meeting, so we will move to item number 6, open forum. Each person who signed up was provided a copy of the open forum basic rules and advised when they signed up that policy BED applies to the process. Please respect the process during your presentation, and we will proceed to open forum. Our first speaker tonight is Jeanette Escontrias.
Good evening. Well, President Nájera is not here, but happy birthday to him, Ms. Nájera, for sitting in, members of the board, and interim superintendent, Mr. Vasquez. My name is Jeanette Escontrias, and I proudly represent the members of West Texas Alliance. I did attend the meeting on August 13 regarding the challenges we are facing and have been facing with our insurance. I appreciate having been invited and given the opportunity to listen to the presentation, and for us, the audience that was there, to provide feedback on the healthcare plans and the availability of the employee healthcare clinic. There are 3 key factors that we believe will have a positive impact on employees. The first is transparent communication. Please provide the specifics of the healthcare options using clear and comprehensive information. The presentations need to explain what each plan covers and what the costs will be. The presentation mentioned that HR would go out into the district and provide these presentations and have the conversations with employees. That is critical to the success of their endeavor. West Texas Alliance is also suggesting that this information be provided via a training video that is accessible to all employees at any time. The second key factor is affordability. We recognize that even the best healthcare plans are of little use if they are not financially manageable to both the district and its employees. Our clerks and custodians, bus drivers and aides must be able to afford healthcare for themselves and their families. We ask that diligent work be done to keep premiums, deductibles, and copays as affordable as possible. We request that the benefits team continuously evaluate the plans to ensure that they remain affordable while still providing the comprehensive coverage that employees deserve. The third factor is employee feedback and continuous improvement. Regularly seeking earnest input and feedback from employees to understand their needs and concerns regarding healthcare programs is critical. This feedback helps you make informed decisions and improvements to our needs, ensuring that our healthcare plans remain relevant and effective. In the last few years, SISD has asked us to be all in and lead with our heart for Team SISD. Your commitment to affordable healthcare should be a reflection of those values and the respect you have for the employees. We are counting on the continued collaboration with the board members and the district to do what is best for kids. When it takes care of its employees, it is doing what is best for kids. I want to thank the board for always asking the questions and asking the right questions and expecting those answers. That's going to make a difference for us. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Our second speaker tonight is Alfredo Aguero.
Nuevamente, antes de comenzar mi tiempo, quisiera pedir por traducción por un intérprete de español a inglés, porque en español es el idioma en el que mejor puedo expresar mis ideas. ¿Tenemos intérprete?
Yes, sir. The translation is coming through on our monitor.
¿O va a estar por medio de la pantalla? It's through the screen?
I don't see it on the screen.
Okay, I'm gonna do it in English then. I just. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alfredo Agüero, and I'm a community organizer in the area of special education and volunteer member with the Time Down organization and founder of parent support group Padres Empoderando Padres en Educación Especial in El Paso, Texas. In July 24, 2024, I tried to obtain a copy of the meeting minutes from the June 19, 2024, and Ms. Yvette Castellano, executive assistant to Superintendent James Vasquez, told me that he could not be available until the board member approved it. The minutes were approved in July 24 meeting, and until today, they have not been published on the SISD website. I got the evidence. Ms. Vasquez already see it. This means that they had been approved previously, long before reading it. Here it is meeting for approval, as will happen today in Article 8, consent agenda of July 24, 2024. All this is just a protocol. We also need the minutes before the meeting to know what is on it, in case we have to make some comments before it is approved in every meeting. Government Code Section 551.021, minutes or recording of the open meeting are required. A governmental agency shall prepare and keep minutes or make a recording of each public meeting of the agency. B, the minutes must indicate the topic of each deliberation and indicate each vote, ordered, decision, or other actions taken. Another thing I want to comment, I want to know if this 2024-2025 school year, there will be special education workshops. Since I have not seen the calendar of these workshops published by the 2024-2025 school year. The last invitation that appears on the Department of Special Education page is from April 25th, 2024. These workshops are necessary to the parents with children in special education, learn their rights and responsibilities so that they can advocate for their own children. On the last calendar, 23-2024, from 8 special education workshops events, only 2 of these talk about the special education laws, in some cases with wrong information. Everything else was about something can be presented to parents with kids and general education. I don't say it's not important information, but it doesn't help much to parents with special kids. Change is not an option. It is necessary for a future generation. El cambio no es una opción, es una necesidad para las generaciones futuras. Quoted by Subcomandante Marcos. Your power lies on my fear. I'm no longer afraid of you. Therefore, you no longer have power. Tu poder radica en mi miedo. Yo ya no tengo miedo. Por lo tanto, tú ya no tienes poder. Phrase of Roman philosopher Seneca to Nerón. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our third speaker is Diana Serrano.
Good evening, members of the board, Interim Superintendent Vasquez. My name is Diana Serrano, an SISD parent and community member. I'm here to speak about the current special education vacancies within our district. I understand that you did give a small update earlier today. Still, currently there are 11 vacancies for special education teachers on your website. 1 at Drugan, 1 at Escontrias, 1 at Chester Jordan, 1 at Vista del Sol Elementary, 1 and 2 in Socorro High School, 1 at Cactus Trails, 1 in Waco Elementary, 1 at Montwood High School, 1 at Eastlake Middle, and also a dyslexia service provider. I understand that you mentioned earlier you're having a job fair, but what else are you all doing about this? How are you planning to retain our current special education teachers? How about having competitive salaries that can actually help them with the cost of living here in El Paso? Or you can also provide adequate support for their units. That way they can meet our children's needs. Also, we have lost multiple exceptional teachers, not just special education teachers, to the other local districts, which you all are aware of the districts. I don't have to mention them. Our special education teachers want to feel valued. They want to feel supported by their district rather than feeling pressure to leave. One final note, substitute teachers are not special education teachers. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. We will move on with item number 7, district reports. A, Bond Accountability Committee report. Mr. Escobar.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening again. Vice President Nakata, Superintendent Vasquez, members of the board, Daniel Escobar, Chief Communications Officer. Tonight, Bond Accountability Chairperson, Mr. Robert Alvarez, will present the report on behalf of the committee.
Thanks, Daniel. Good evening, Socorro ISD Board of Trustees, Interim Superintendent Mr. Vasquez. On behalf of the 2017 Bond Accountability Committee, it's an honor to present this final report on activities of the committee and the progress of Bond 2017. I'm proud to inform the board that Bond 2017 has resulted in beautiful state-of-the-art facilities that are benefiting students and staff across the entire district. Socorro ISD has done an outstanding job in fulfilling the primary purpose of Bond 2017, building new schools and improving existing facilities to provide safe, modern learning environments for all of our students. The Bond Accountability Committee met 24 times since its inception in 2018 and carried out activities in line with the original charge set by the Board of Trustees in the organizing charter. The committee's purpose was to ensure and promote communication and accountability surrounding all elements within Bond 2017. A diverse group of members representing parents, employees, volunteers, businesses, and taxpayers served in the committee over the past 6 years. Throughout the bond program, the committee received updates from staff on all aspects surrounding contracts, timelines, design, and construction of all projects. The presentations were professional, informative, clear, and complete. The committee members' questions were always addressed, and great discussions took place among the members and district staff. Each meeting of the committee was documented by staff, and summaries were posted along with reports on the district's website to promote open, clear transparency and communication throughout the bond program. Informative outreach was also shared via the website, newsletters, and other district reports. As a committee, we are proud to have supported the completion of Bond 2017, which included the reconstruction of Socorro High School, the construction of 2 elementary schools, 1 middle school, high school improvements at Montwood, El Dorado, Americas High School, and auxiliary gyms at 16 elementary schools. Athletic improvements to include lighting at 4 campuses and the new SAC 2, as well as new technology services building and a canopy structure at transportation. Included in the updates from staff have been project and overall program financial information. The team kept us apprised of project finances and how escalation since 2017 and the pandemic had impacted the overall bond project and budget. Our last 2 committee meetings primarily focused on the program, budget, and potential overrun with the completion of a maintenance and facilities building, the final project in Bond 2017. The committee thoughtfully deliberated whether to recommend moving ahead in constructing the building, which would require additional funding, or closing out the program completely and not completing the facility. After a healthy discussion, we concluded that not moving forward with the project would be the best course of action for the district. Not constructing the facility will help conclude the program without requiring additional funds from the district's general fund. And more importantly, will not negatively impact students nor displace, but adversely impact employees. Specifically, the committee noted that the main priority of Bond 2017 from the beginning was to benefit student instruction, and not completing this project will not take away anything from Socorro ISD students or the educational function of the school district. As such, after careful consideration of the two options, the committee unanimously recommends to the Board of Trustees that the district close out Bond 2017 without constructing the maintenance and facilities building. With the completion of the Student Activities Complex 2 and the committee's final recommendation, our work for the Bond 2017 Bond Accountability Committee has come to an end. We thank the Board of Trustees for entrusting us to represent the community as we oversaw the completion of Bond 2017. It was a pleasure to serve Socorro ISD community, and we appreciate the opportunity to be all in for new and improved facilities for students and staff. I would like to thank the facilities and planning team for their great work and responsible management of all projects. Hearing from the staff and staying up to date on the projects was a great collaboration experience, and we are proud to have been part of this important process for the district. Together, we ensured that the promises to provide new, improved, and equitable facilities for students was delivered responsibly and transparently. It was a privilege to serve Socorro ISD and complete Bond 2017 for the community. Thank you.
Mr. Ellis, on behalf of the board, I would like to thank you for the past 6 years you're in the community, and I see Mary Ann's also out there since 2018.
Sure.
You all represent the district well, and promise me, promises kept, so thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure.
Anyone else?
Yes.
Ms. Macias?
Mr. Alvarez, thank you. Being on the other side of the dais and now on this side, it was amazing working with you, and thank you for always keeping our students first. And that was, I could say that was truly heartfelt. There were very hard decisions that you led, and you did it with grace. And every single time, you made sure that we kept our students first and moved forward. So thank you for your service.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mr. Alvarez, if I may, for yourself and the entire Bond Accountability Committee, the board is extremely grateful for all of your time and your dedication to the Bond Accountability Committee, to Team SISD, but most importantly, to our students. There were a lot of hard decisions to make back in 2017, and we, all throughout the entire process, y'all have been there to make sure when this board said, promises made, promises kept, you helped us get there. And we wouldn't be here, and 2017 bond project wouldn't be the success that it is without your contribution and help. So we are deeply grateful.
I appreciate that. If I could say a few words, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I realized this was a difficult bond, I was here also chairperson for 2011 as well. Whole different deal altogether. But when you look at that, you take the pros and the cons, but at the end of the day, you got to realize that whatever we do, whatever we give back to the community, because this is why I do this, is to make sure that the kids have the best experience that they can with Socorro ISD. And I think you all have allowed us as community members and stakeholders in the community to be able to do that. And I appreciate the instilling the trust and creating that transparency, because that's huge. And as a community member, I just want to tell you that I appreciate everything you all do as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Our next district report, 7B, is facilities report. Ms. Figueroa?
Ms. Nájera, if I may.
Yes, sir. Ma'am, sorry.
That's okay. As you're coming up, kudos to SISD facilities team and our planning team with all of this. So it was perfect timing that you're next. So
Thank you.
big thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Vice President Nájera, members of the board, Interim Superintendent Mr. Vasquez. I'm Liliana Fierro, the Director of Facilities and Construction. Before I start, I would like to thank again the board members, the Bond Accountability Committee, and our administration for all the support during these years. And as Mr. Alvarez mentioned, it was a challenge, but we did it, we're here, and we're almost done. Thank you. Starting with the Student Activities Complex 2, as you know, that project reached the substantial completion. Right now, the contractor is working in punch lists, closeout documents, so probably by October or November, I will come to you for the final approval, the final payment approval. So here's the ribbon cutting that was celebrated in August 2nd, and it was a huge event and amazing to see all the students, the staff, and of course the board members in the community there. And here I'm going to present the last video of the completed project. I hope you enjoy it. An amazing facility. So, and just to let you know, tomorrow we'll have our first scrimmage game, Chapin versus El Dorado, and on Friday, Mountwood versus Americas. And also in August 30th, Socorro High School will have the homecoming game. Okay, so you're invited. Thank you. Okay, so moving on to the new maintenance facilities building. Project is on hold until we have a directive to close it or continue. I don't know if you have any questions on this project. Okay. Moving on the budget. May I please distribute copies of the updated budget report?
Please.
Thank you. Okay, so if we go to item 12, the Student Activities Complex 2, you will see in your book, you will see the different number. You will see a 101,000, but now the number went lower. And as you can see in the sheets that were provided, now the The amount that we need at this point, the estimated amount to complete SAC 2 will be $70,287.26 at this point. Again, this is an estimate amount. We foresee to have this amount to go lower and possibly to be a positive number, okay? But as the final payments continue, this report will be updated. And the item 15, the maintenance and facilities building, again, the construction cost estimate is still 6.8 as of today. Do you have any questions?
So just for my clarification,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm looking at the red. So if we put a hold on the maintenance and facilities building, and I think we heard recommendation from the bond advisory committee, we would right now be negative 70,000
Yes, ma'am.
with a project.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, okay. And moving on to the non-bond projects, the transportation electric bus charging stations. That project is in the closeout phase. We are planning to bring to the board the final payment for approval September. The auxiliary gyms package 1 and package 3 will be presented tonight for the approval of final payment. And the portable classrooms relocation to Eastleigh High School, the project has been completed and occupied and closed. Do you have any questions? Okay,
Ma'am, thank you so much.
thank you.
Okay, we will continue with item 7C, quarterly investment report. Mr. Vargas?
Good evening, Vice President Nahara, Interim Superintendent, Mr. Vasquez, and members of the board. Rene Vargas, Director of Business Services, and I'll be reporting the fourth quarter investments in accordance to Policy CD and the the Public Funds Investment Act. As you can see on the first screen, we have the usual categories. We're broken down by categories, and within those categories, we have all our pools, which are listed on the left side. Starting with the first category, our operating fund investment. As you can see, we started at book values. We started with 120.6 million and ended up with 72.8 million. That drop of 47 is again due to payroll and vendors and so forth. So that's pretty common for this period of time. The next category, you'll see it's the health insurance fund investment. And on this one, this is one that we just have funds in there for this particular category. And as you can see, we just add the interest that we make for each quarter. So we're starting with 3.668, and we add the 48,000 that we got in interest and brings it up to the 3717,344. The next report is on the workman's comp. This is our third category. Again, this is one that we have funds there for this particular investment pool. And again, we just add the interest. So as you can see, we start with 445, 442. We add the 59.25 in interest made for this quarter, and it brings it to the 451, 367. The next category is our interest in sync. And again, this is our debt. So as you can see on this one, we have $88 million over that, and adding the interest of 1.1, we bring it up to the 89.1 million. Our next category, our fifth category, is the construction fund. This is one that's diminishing as the projects get completed from the bond 2017. As you can see, we have, and we do broke them out, you'll see zeros there, and that's because we've completed those projects and we just don't have money in that particular row. So we started with 12.5 million, ended up with 6.2 million. Again, the reduction is about another 6.2, and that's again for the projects that are being completed and we're giving them final payments. The next category, the last one, is our food service investment category. And on this one, once again, we just add the interest that we make in those funds. So we do have a reserve of 435, 487, and adding the 5792 that we made in interest brings it up to that 41, 280. This last page will show you a summary of what it is with all of them together. As you can see, we have the book value as well and also market value. There is one of our categories in our investment pools, which is first public, and it varies from the market to this one. As you can see, it's a slight variance. It's not a large margin in that. So on the book value, we started with 225.7 million and ended up with 172.8. These next couple of slides are our ratings. We do look at them monthly. And this is just to make sure we're still in compliance with our policy that it should be the rating that it applies to. As you can see, we do go through each of them, naming them, each of them separately and telling what they rate in each category that we have. Following is again the other pools that we have. So it is a combination of all of the pools that I just mentioned earlier. This is their rating as well. And as you can see, we do sign off on it once we verify. We do have staff and investment officers to go ahead and sign off on them. Are there any questions I may answer?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Vargas, as our expert, is there anything that stands out that you need to teach us based on what we saw?
Only that, if you can see that in the construction fund, it's just less and less each time that I report, and it's again due to the projects that are being completed for the bond. As they mentioned, they're pretty much coming to the end of it. So just FYI, in the future, that's going to disappear as we go by.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Vargas.
Yes, ma'am.
But you don't get to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Item D, Annual Investment Report for Fiscal Year 2023-2024. Mr. Vargas?
Yes, ma'am. We do have the administrators presented to the board the annual investment report, and this is in accordance to policy CDA as well as the Public Fund Investment Act. We are required to present to you, and we do have a representative from Hub International and also TCG, which is one of our consultants investments. We have Mr. Chris Jamel, and he'll be presenting these particular slides.
Thank you all very much tonight. As we go through the report, I'm not going to read every number, so I'm sure that's a little bit of a pleasure for you. But I will focus on the first column to start the July of 2023 and ending in the June 2024, just to point out really just two of these numbers. In July of last year, the investment portfolio, that was the investment pool that was paying the highest interest rate, was around 5.31%, and the money market fund that was paying the lowest at the time was 4.83%. Fast forward a year, we're still looking at something very similar. The highest was around 5.4%, with the lowest around 5.18%. So really over the last year, as far as the interest earned in your accounts, we're talking slight variations in interest rates moving along when you're basically in that kind of 5.3, 5.4 range. Moving to the next slide, again, Socorro ISD runs a short-term diversified strategy, which is why you see quite a few names on that first page as far as the summary. These next several slides will just be a breakdown of each investment type. So this first one here is the text pool fund. What I want to point out here in your last three columns, you have the fiscal year 2023-24 totals, last year's totals, and then the difference. As Mr. Vargas pointed out, there's less money. You have the negative there, so you earned less money this year than you did prior years. All of that due to the fact that there were just lower dollars in the construction bond account. So less money earned you less money. Nothing significant there. Going on to the next one, the first public fund. Very similar, higher balances than last year, which is why the interest in sinking fund, if you follow that all the way to the right, that one actually earned more money, about $800,000 instead of $600,000-700,000 last year. Higher balances in that fund earned you more money. And then again, as Mr. Vargas pointed out, the construction 2018 and 19, those are basically blank because those projects have been completed. Very similar, really same story here. Construction accounts went down to zero or went down pretty aggressively due to construction, and that was the logic, Texas range, and the range term as there. And then in the final slide here, as far as the breakdown, again, very similar. Anytime you see lesser earnings this year than last year, it was tied to a construction account with it. Really to kind of hit more of the summary here, as it was pointed out, and I'm looking at the first bar chart, the beginning balance starting last year of $224 million and ending the year, fourth quarter, with 172, so the first bar and the last bar. That loss in income there, the largest reduction in assets due to bond completion. Again, just to hit on that one. And then for each quarter, again, first quarter, based off the fiscal year, is July, August, and September. Your first quarter of each year, you see a significant drop in assets due to the debt payment being due, so that was paid out, and then no state revenue, I believe, in the month of August. So a significant drop in assets there. However, in the second and third quarter, you actually are looking at a little bit of a pop there in assets, primarily due to the property tax revenue starting to come in. You start to see December, a little bit of revenue coming in, and then again in the third quarter, you start to have January tax revenue as well. Then in the fourth quarter, drops a little bit again. Again, no state revenue paid to the district in April, so that income drops from there. I'm going to just jump ahead a few slides here to finish out. That was last year's, obviously, report. Some of the conversations we're having around what to look at for the next year as far as earnings and what to potentially project, so to speak, as best we can. We do expect, even though last year interest rates and rates of return were fairly flat, we do expect them to start coming down this next year. The chart you see here, really just paying attention to really the dotted lines across the board, expecting into 2025 lower interest rates as the Federal Reserve starts to cut interest rates. So great for any of us trying to buy a house, poor if you're trying to invest in money market funds there. And then lastly, as far as investment strategy, really just the 3 bullet points here. We are having discussions around locking in yields when possible. So if it's purchasing CDs, short-term treasury bonds, things that are very safe, things that are in the Public Funds Investment Act, if we can, if you have assets available to do that, we are looking at doing that. However, at the same time, obviously, you have to maintain sufficient levels of liquidity. So that's the balance there of, yes, we could potentially earn more money, but at the same time, we're going to need that money, coming up, so we can't do too much with it. And then always, safety is the highest priority. So as Mr. Vargas pointed out, all investments are very highly rated and meet all requirements in the Public Funds Investment Act. And I believe that was it. Is there any questions if you have anything?
Yes, sir. Please remind me, when did you all start managing our investments? I'm sorry, Mr. Vargas.
It's been about maybe 2.5 years that we started this.
And how did we manage our investments before Hub International CTG?
It would be the investment officers.
Investment officers as far as?
Myself and another accountant that we have.
We did that
we would
internally?
be strategic, yeah. We'd have a strategic plan, and then they came down along.
Do you know why we went external?
No, ma'am.
Okay, no, that's fine. I don't remember seeing you, so that's why I wanted to remind me. Thank you so much.
Are there any other questions? Thank you both so very much. Thank you. Item 7E, Strategic Plan, Priority 2, Staff Success and Satisfaction. Ms. Stiles?
Good evening, Vice President Nájera, members of the board, Superintendent Mr. Vasquez, Selena Stiles, Interim Chief of Human Resources, and this evening I'll be presenting an update to Priority 2. So specifically, I'll be going over the strategic objectives 2.2 and 2.3. So to review 2.2, which is provide all new employees with onboarding staff development. So we continue to hold our new employee orientations. In addition to that, we have Vector Solutions, which has facilitated our kind of required trainings throughout the year, safety trainings, Title IX, standards of conduct, and it's done virtually, so it can be done conveniently at at the time the employees have available. There are some that have timelines, but if they pass that timeline, they still have through the end of the year to complete those trainings. 2.2C is to provide schools and departments direction on staffing needs to ensure appropriate credential updates are in place for retention purposes. So we hold multiple staffing sessions throughout the year. We hold one in the fall, one in the spring, and we have 2 in the summer. And really, those are just for us to plan, get with those administrators, talk out what the FTEs are, and strategically staff, especially now that we're working with declining enrollment. So as we have excess teachers, we displace them to vacancies before we start filling additional vacancies. .3 is to increase employee satisfaction and retention. So Department of Human Resources is all in to continue to provide that optimal customer service and transparency with all HR-related functions. As I mentioned, strategic staffing, working with campuses, working with the staff, because when we do have to displace somebody, if there are options, we'll work with them and kind of allow them to make that choice. If we don't have those options, we want to rest assured they have that position available to them. We want to make sure that we continue to offer an affordable health plan. We want to take employees' needs into consideration while also being fiscally responsible. 2.3A is build trusting relationships with our staff, teachers, and administrators by engaging with them to listen and improve SISD environments, processes, and experiences. So we offer district-wide wellness programs. So for example, we have free lunch and learn lessons where employees can come in and learn on different topics. I know we've had stress relief, we've had breast cancer awareness, heart health, different things that employees can come and participate in. We have on-site wellness screening, and then we offer health expos. In addition to that, we plan to hold more task force meetings. I know during open forum it was mentioned that we held a meeting for informational meeting with staff regarding the benefits. So we want to continue that process. It allows for transparency. It gives us a good feedback and allows us to keep a pulse on kind of what's going on around the district. Any questions?
Madam Chair.
Dr. Nelson?
Yeah, I had the opportunity to go into a senior team meeting, and I want to commend the staff for exercising some fiscal and personnel discipline. They were talking about some vacancies and how they're trying to move things around, make sure that the classrooms are taken care of, but at the same time, make sure that you adjust to the number of students that you have. And that's the other assumption that came through on the budget. The projections of student enrollment were very close to actual, and that is a bit of good news. Now, the next frontier you're going to hear a little bit about later is that's the increasing the average daily attendance. But I was very impressed that the team today talked deliberately about how to deal with these few vacancies that you have and the numbers. And so I wanted to publicly thank them for doing that behind closed doors without you watching.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Are there any
Dr.
questions
Hinojosa.
for Ms. Stiles?
Sorry, I'm full of questions today. Ms. Stiles, could you highlight what you all are doing to attract special education teachers? I think we heard that in public forum, and that way it gives you an opportunity to share. And that way, if there's special education teachers out there, please come our way.
So one thing I think that has been the biggest challenge is the requirement for the bilingual stipend with the special education stipend. So that has been one of the biggest challenges. But in working with Mrs. Parham, we've identified that we can hire them and work with them and place them on a waiver, and that would give them ample opportunity to prepare and test to get that certification, but also allowing us to fill those vacancies. So that's one. The other is that incentive that was approved by the board to attract individuals outside of I think it's a 50-mile radius of the district still stands. We still are looking at recruiting that. And I think just being more strategic on what we're hiring. So for example, we mentioned a job fair specifically for special ed. As Dr. Hinojosa mentioned, we're trying to have those deliberate conversations just because we know there's a need, but there's also a decline. So we're trying to be strategic about what we're filling and where our focus is.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? Thank you so much, Ms. Stiles.
Thank you.
And item 7F, bond defeasance overview. Ms. Olson.
Say that word 3 times.
Please, I had to rehearse it in my head.
Good evening, Vice President Nájera, Interim Superintendent Mr. Vasquez, members of the board, Susan Olson, Budget Director. The next finance topic is the bond defeasance and how it impacts the interest and sinking rate, also known as the INS rate. My tag team partners this evening are the district's financial advisors from Estrada Hinojosa Investment Bankers, Dr. Angel Magianes and Mr. Matt Lujan. On June the 26th, the Board of Trustees adopted the debt service budget, Fund 599. The district's debt service is similar to a mortgage, but on a lot larger scale. The INS tax rate pending approval on September 18th will generate revenue to pay the district's mortgage. Prior to the adoption of the 2024 tax rate on September 18th, administration will ask the Board of Trustees to consider and possibly approve a bond defeasance. So what is a bond defeasance? It's a legal process to remove debt from the district's balance sheet. What is the process? In a nutshell, the district's financial advisors identify the bonds that can be defeased. The district's bond council draws up the resolution to order the bond defeasance. A bond defeasance requires the Board of Trustees to levy an INS tax rate in excess of the minimum amount required for the bond payments. So the minimum INS tax rate that the district can adopt is 0.3209 per $100 valuation. The maximum INS tax rate the school district can levy by law is 50 cents per $100,000 valuation. Last year's tax rate, INS tax rate, was 49.4951. Administration's recommendation on the 18th will actually be 39 cents per $100,000 valuation. This is a reduction of a little over 10 cents compared to last year's INS tax rates. And the last part of the process is that once the bonds are defeased, an escrow agent services the bonds. At this point, I'm going to hand it off to Dr. Angel Magianes to walk you through the details of the benefits of the details and benefits of the bond defeasance.
Good evening, Madam Nájera, trustees, Superintendent Vasquez, administration, and community. My name's, as Ms. Olson mentioned, Angel Magallanes. I'm part of your financial advisory team for your debt service here at the district, and with me also Matt Lujan. And before I just begin, I just want to say I got an opportunity to take a tour yesterday of some of your facilities. Amazing facilities, instructional facilities. That's great to see for the students, for the teachers. Amazing, passionate staff that you have throughout the district. That's awesome. But that's just a testament of the great things here in Socorro ISD, a testament of the community that prioritizes and values education. So Always great to see that. And a community that, as we begin, they approved all these bonds to improve your instructional facilities. So this is just the first page, a summary of your outstanding debt service. Currently, you have approximately $735 million of debt still outstanding. This is from 14 bond series. Your ratings currently are AA2 with Moody's, an A+ with Fitch. These are investment grade ratings. Investors like to see an A or higher, but also you do have a AAA backing from the state. That's through the Permanent School Fund. So that's an insurance policy there that the district has for all these bonds, and AAA is the highest rating that anyone could get. Your debt service goes out through 2046, and you do have some options there, some columns that say callable debt. That's just when you have the opportunity to refinance. In the mortgage world, we call them refundings. But when interest rates go down, we monitor that and make sure that the district is able to capture as much savings as possible with the refinancings. The next slide that we have is just a more colorful chart of all your outstanding bonds by series. As I mentioned, the opportunity to refinance or refund is in 2027, so we'll be monitoring that closely, make sure that we take advantage of that if interest rates are low enough. This next slide is just a historical of your tax rates. You have your overall tax rate that's made up of your M&O tax rate in one bucket and your INS tax rate on the other bucket. Your INS tax rate, your interest and sinking fund, that tax rate is only utilized to pay off debt. So all the debt here, that's what that tax rate does. It levies sufficient funds to pay off your debt. As you see, it maintained constant 39 cents. It increased in 2024 to defease, and that's something that we're going to talk about, to 49 cents to defease and pay off more debt early. And the proposal for this fiscal year end 2025 is 39 cents to maintain with the historical of what the district has done in the past. If you see your M&O rate, that has decreased dramatically over 32 cents since 2019. And that's more state mandated on maximum compressed rates and what the district has on the enrichment pennies as well. So that's a different component of your tax rate. And this year, it went down from 75.46 to 66.89. So for a total of $1.05 that's being proposed for this fiscal year 2025. So a defeasance overview. Again, Ms. Olson mentioned it. What is a defeasance? We're paying off debt. So we're paying off debt. We're utilizing. We can't refund currently. We can't refund until 2027, and the rates are not there for the refundings. But we could still pay off debt early and create some interest savings. For example, the savings potential that happened last year, in January of this year for fiscal year 2024, the district utilized about $11.5 million of the INS levy in order to pay off approximately $15 million in principal and interest. And that is a total savings of about $3.4 million throughout those years to the taxpayers. In order for a defeasance to occur, we do ask for a defeasance resolution, and that is what obligates the district saying, hey, we're using this levy in order to pay off debt early. So that is something that's being proposed at your next board meeting to utilize the extra pennies on the interest and sinking fund, to utilize those funds in order to pay off debt early through this resolution saying, this is our obligation that we're going to pay off. Just another summary of last year, you had the 4951, and again, we utilized $11.5 million to defease approximately $15 million in principal and interest. This year, as Ms. Olson mentioned, to satisfy your debt service for this year, you should have at least 32 cents. And it's mentioned just as a mortgage payment, you do it every month. Well, the school district, that mortgage payment is about $53 million a year, annually through 2046. So you need 32 cents to levy enough to pay off just the minimum. What's being recommended is, again, utilizing those extra pennies to pay off debt early and potentially create interest savings as well. So a defeasance is a management tax rate tool that's utilized throughout the state. It's legally utilized. I've done a few throughout most of Texas, and so it's utilized from the big districts that do raise an extra levy, and it's a tool that it's at your utilization to do in order to create some interest savings. So what are some of the options? As we mentioned, you could pay off the minimum at 32 cents or the recommendation of 39 cents and looking at defeasing approximately 9.9 million in debt that the district has. We will know that final amount once tax collections are levied at the end of February. But even at that 39 cents, that's still an overall reduction of 19 cents from your overall tax rate from last year to this year. That's utilizing the average taxable home here in Socorro ISD, which is approximately 121,000. So the market value is 221,000. But if they have a homestead exemption, that's a $100,000 exemption on that 221,000. That reduces what they could actually be taxed on just for the school district purposes, the ISD purposes. So they're only getting taxed on 121,000, which is actually bringing down the projected amount of taxes from last year to this year by about $231. And if you could see in the chart, the more you're able to defease, the more you're able to pay off, the more interest savings, the opportunity that you have for the debt. Also, by having that extra levy and those extra pennies there, in the future, without an increase in the tax rate, you could look at a potential about $450 million, as long as the values, taxable values maintain, and they're increasing here quite a bit. So that potential might be more. And on the right, just a graphical visualization on your tax rate history, as we mentioned, over 32 cents reduction overall. So from $1.38 to potentially $1.05 for this fiscal year 2025. At this time, I'll entertain any questions.
Any questions?
I actually just wanted to thank you publicly, Ms. Olson. We had this conversation earlier. If this was the first time I was hearing this, because defeasance, we can't even pronounce it, let alone understand it. But when you went to our committee meetings, it made a world of difference. And this is a very important decision that needs to be made, and I really do appreciate the seriousness in presenting at every committee meeting. It made it so much easier to understand, and thank you, because that is what our community deserves. We need to make decisions that are in the best interest of our community, and this kind of knowledge is what we need. And so thank you so much for taking the time to meet with every single committee.
No, our pleasure.
It meant a lot to me, and this is awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
No,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 8, consent agenda. Are there any items to pull?
Just want to give individuals the opportunity to highlight some great things that I saw. Item, let me see, F, which is consider approval of contracts. 1D. And I also have item J.
Any others? Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve all items except for the ones I pulled.
I second.
I have a motion by Ms. Macias to approve consent agenda with the exception of items F, 1D, and item J. I have a second by Ms. Gardea. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. And so we will go to item F1D. Ms. Macias.
Yes. And I got a smile from an individual. Just wanted to give you all an opportunity to highlight our adult education program and the fact that Socorro ISD is taking the lead in the grant and is the fiscal agent. So please highlight this program that we have to give back to our community.
Thank you. Good evening, Superintendent Vasquez, Ms. Nájera, our board. I'm very blessed to lead a group of individuals who reach out to the community, and we offer programs for our adults 17 and up to earn their GED because they were not able to obtain that. Classes for not just English, but also for those individuals that are coming to the United States that actually have a degree from outside the United States. So they are in an intensive program where they actually learn faster so that they can get into the job market utilizing those degrees that they have from outside the country. We also offer vocational classes such as pharmacy tech as well as computer maintenance so that those individuals in our community can get that certification and get into the job market. We are part of a consortium that works with our other ISDs to include Isleta as well as El Paso. It's a great partnership, and then we also reach out to the rural areas that stretch all the way through Van Horn to Presidio, pretty much all West Texas, because we want to make sure that just as we believe in education through K-12, we want to continue that education to all of our adults. So we work with TWC for those employability skills and that post-secondary.
Thank you, Ms. Cuevas and Dr. Cruz. Motion to approve.
I second.
I have a motion by Ms. Macias and a second by Ms. Gardea. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. And then we have item J.
Sorry. Just wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of do a shout out. There were a couple that kind of stood out, so I just wanted to thank those individuals that truly continue to give back to our district. So I'll say one, for example, our Bulldog Band Parent Association, kudos to you. I know that you gave a large amount to our Bulldogs that need you the most. So thank you so much. I don't know if there's any other donations that you would like to highlight.
Yes, ma'am. I think they were the top ones. That there's also EPCC, and there was another one, Dr. Clanton. He gives a lot of donations, so we'd like to thank him so much.
Thank you so much. Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Macias and a second by Ms. Gardea. Is there any further discussion? I'd just like to thank everyone who has donated to our district, large or small. Doesn't matter. Everything goes together to provide the best for our students, and we are grateful for everything. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Okay, item 9, new business. A, consider approval of 2024-2025 district and campus improvement plan performance objectives. Dr. Starkey.
Good evening, Vice President Nájera, members of the board, and Superintendent Vasquez. I'm coming before you tonight for the annual presentation and for your hopeful approval of the 24-25 district improvement plan and campus improvement plan performance objectives. The objectives for the district and for all campuses were provided ahead of time by flash drive, and also there we had a link on the website that was secure just for certain people to be able to view, such as yourselves, and that was 181 pages long. So obviously we would want to have an alternative way of viewing that as opposed to the board book, or this. So, but they do need to, it's a large district that we have. It's grown a lot in the last 35 years, as we saw in Mr. Escobar's stats that he gave us. So each year, Each year, the board has to approve the performance objectives that are identified in each district, in the district improvement plan and each campus improvement plan. And of course, if you include the district plan, then there are 52 plans in total. So the plans themselves, if you take the whole thing, are thousands and thousands of pages. Thank goodness for online technology. Okay. So our 4 district adopted strategic plan priorities remain the law of the land until you all say otherwise. They are linked to presentations each month on everything we're trying to do as we're all in. And when those were adopted, we revamped all of the district plan, and we revamped all of the campus plans to ensure that performance objectives and the strategies that are chosen in each plan are now aligned with these. So 2 years ago, we successfully were able to renovate those to fit these. Okay. So what I normally do, since 181 pages is just maybe a little bit much, I try to go ahead and pick a elementary, a middle school, and a high school example each year to show publicly, so the snapshot can be shown of what most of the objectives look like. So this is one where goal 1 is normally kind of the main one because of like STAR accountability and graduation and accountability and making sure we don't completion rate, dropout rate being low, completion rate being high, STAR scores. So goal 1 is usually a good one to place. We look at the data locally at each campus. This one is O'Shea Kelleher Whole Child Academy. So how they did in reading, math, science, approaches meets masters, and where they're trying to go this year. Okay. This one is Slider Middle School. Okay, and it does begin with 2 on purpose because 1 was something that was a little bit more of a simpler goal. I was trying to find something that would kind of illustrate a little bit more detail. There's nothing wrong with what Mr. Rios has on his first objective in that goal, but the 2nd through 5th are the ones that I wanted to display. So it looks the same, except that in middle school level, there's social studies. So we have that, he has that there added. Okay, and then for high school, I've picked, each year I just try to pick a different one. Last year it was Montwood because my daughter was a senior and she was graduating, so I did that. But this year it's Pebble. This year we're over to Pebble Hills. So on this one, you'll see Mr. Ramirez has one objective with his English 1 and English 2 goals. Objective. And then he has 3 other objectives, one for Algebra 1, one for Biology, one for U.S. History. Just about every high school has, they might not be written exactly the same, but most of them look like this. Another thing that we have in high school is our college career military readiness, and CCMR for short, and you all have heard that one quite a bit. It goes into the accountability ratings, like that 83 we're supposed to get, like that's a factor in that. And you have your, so in the high schools, they make sure that they are on the House Bill 3 goals that were approved several years ago. So in this one, what Mr. Ramirez appears to have finalized or approved was that 76% of students in the last graduating class at Pebble Hills were college ready, and he's trying to get that to 85 and so on and so forth. So he's kind of got that one consolidated. Sometimes you'll see those split out separately, but that's why we have site-based management, right? Okay, the campus improvement plan. But there's just the overarching goals that belong to us as approved by y'all, and then objectives that we just have to ask you to approve for us so we can move on and continue to reach higher places, just like what we did this year, being number 1 with 12 out of 20. So I respectfully ask for approval so we can get these posted in the AM.
Motion to approve. Sorry. Go ahead.
Motion to approve?
I second.
I have a motion by Ms. Gardea and a second by Ms. Macias. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you, Dr. Starkey.
Much obliged, thanks.
Item B, consider approval of new positions. Ms. Stiles?
Good evening again, Vice President Nájera, members of the board, and Superintendent Mr. Vasquez. This evening, this is kind of a new protocol for all of us. So this evening, I'm coming to you to request some additional positions. These positions were not included as part of the budget, therefore that's the reason why we're coming to you, but they are positions that are needed to be filled at the moment. There's current classes with students in them, and those would be some of those vacancies that would be filled. So at the moment, we are requesting 2 diagnosticians, 2 speech-language pathologists. Those positions are specifically requested to lower caseloads because there has been an increase in enrollment for the special education program. 1 special education teacher, a special education aide, and 5 cross guards.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Macias and a second by Ms. Gardea. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Stiles.
Thank you.
Item C, consider approval of T-Test certified administrators. Ms. Fidesz?
Good evening, Board President Nájera or Vice President Nájera, members of the Board, and Superintendent Vasquez. I'm Lynette Vidales, Director of Human Resources, and I'm before you to request approval of a teacher appraiser list. As per DNA local, a teacher may request a second appraisal if they disagree with their evaluation. Human Resources selects this individual from a pre-established roster of appraisers trained in the Texas Teacher Evaluation and Support System, or T-TESS, and you can find this list on page 427 of your board book. Administration requests approval of the list as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Guetta and a second by Ms. Gardea. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you so much. Item D, consider approval of health plan design recommended funding for the 2025 plan year. Mr. Carmona.
Good evening, Vice President Nájera, members of the board, Superintendent Mr. Vasquez, Mario Carmona, Director of Human Resources over Benefits and Risk Management. If we may, we are providing to you an updated copy of the presentation that includes tonight's information. You'll be happy to hear that it's not a longer presentation. It's actually a summarized version of the presentation, so that's good news. I'd like to start by reminding the trustees that this is a follow-up to our workshop held on August 14th, where we went through a detailed presentation, if you will, of the information that I'm going to be covering today. As you know, we have followed a timeline, and our goal today is to present some final considerations and a recommendation. Our agenda is to review administration's recommendation and consider and take action on a plan. And you might recall that during the presentation, again held on August 14th, we provided some plan structures, designs, and scenarios. Our goal is to review our affordable plan choices, ensure the financial solvency of the plan, and as we have stated throughout our presentations, our goal is to be able to continue to find or strive to find that balance between our cost when it comes to healthcare and the revenue that's coming into the fund, because unfortunately, as mentioned before, the fund has been running on a deficit for a number of years. So our goal is to reach that balance. What are the options? As mentioned previously, we can look at increasing rates between 29 and 49%, which is not the recommendation. We have already explored that. Number two, we can provide alternatives to include the consumer-driven health plan. That was one of the scenarios that we went into detail the last presentation. And in addition to that, to continue to address the district financial goals. And lastly, number three, we can do nothing, continue as is, and hope for the best. And of course, that is not a recommendation as well. The scenarios that we reviewed are or were four, and the one that we will be focusing on today is scenario D, which is target a zero fund balance. And from the presentation that, or from the information that we provided in the last presentation, the information included a comparison between the current cost and the proposed cost. So I'll briefly go over those highlights again. Again, this is for a zero health fund balance target. The consumer-driven, you'll see it on the slide on your screen right now, circled with the current rates and the proposed rate for 2025 of zero. In the event that you wanted to see how many participants or how many coverage we have for each specific plan, you will see that table included as part of your presentation. Same information provided to you for the base plan, current rates versus proposed rate, and you'll see a reduction in rate as well. Same table provided in terms of the current count. And for the Premier plan, the current rate versus the proposed rate for plan year 2025 to include the total participation such as employee only all the way up to employee and family. Another piece of information that I think is what brought to light what can help someone make some decisions in terms of what are my choices as an employee and how can I continue to take advantage of the great benefits that the school district offers to us. The sample that we brought forth is for someone to compare what they will be paying as premium and their total out-of-pocket versus comparing that to, let's say, the one option that it's more costly when it comes to total out-of-pocket maximum plus what they would be paying as a contribution. What we're trying to do is to incentivize our employees to continue to consider the consumer-driven health plan as an option and increase the current contribution that is provided by the school district per employee per year from $600 to $800 for the new plan year. Why is that important? Because if we were to look again at the maximum out-of-pocket from the consumer-driven versus the Premier plan, an employee can see that their maximum out-of-pocket has been reduced even more to $2,700. And of course, another point that I think is important is for us to continue to look at the contribution that's being made by the school district. You might recall that for next year, for next plan year, the contribution is going to go to $555. But who's to say that as we continue to monitor our plan, our health fund, and how the each plan is performing, that we can't look at that contribution per employee per month and increase it. Look at increasing back to potentially getting back up to $575, and making the extra effort to make sure that we don't need to continue to increase the premiums that the employee will need to pay as well. But again, all this information, the forecast, plan performance are key factors when it comes to us bringing this information to you for decisions. Because as I mentioned before, we make estimations based on data, past data. We look at our last 12 months, and we see what we're practically predicting in the next 12 months. So in hope that there will be some change, some shifting in terms of open enrollment, we can bring good news to you for the next plan year and continue on the track that we're hoping to be on as of 2025. During one of our last meetings, one of the questions that was brought was, how do we compare to other school districts? And please know that this is not a apples to apples comparison per se, but it's, I guess, an illustration of how we look when compared to other school districts in the area. So we are looking at making or comparing two of our options, the proposed base and the proposed consumer-driven health plan. And we're highlighting, for this particular piece of the information, employee-only rate. If we were to look at something similar, let's say at EPISD, you'll see that we're still under the current premium that is being identified with that particular school district. In addition to that, you'll see that Clint ISD, it will not be something that we can compare ourselves to because those plans are HMOs, which we don't offer in the school district. We have a preferred provider organization or accountable care organization, PPO or ACO. So therefore, we're not going to be making a comparison with that particular school district, but we will make a comparison with Isleta ISD. And again, just to highlight a couple of their premium rates, we're still under what they're currently posting or offering to their employees. Are there any questions before I go on to some of the information related to employee education? Thank you. We talked about employee education and the importance of this for employees to be able to become engaged and informed in terms of their choices. Our objective is to increase awareness, improve understanding when it comes to terminology, how the plan itself works, and what they can expect from the plan. And of course, boost active enrollment. For those that choose to enroll in the consumer-driven health plan, continue to guide them throughout the entire plan year. We mentioned that for this particular group that we have been making reference to throughout our presentations, we vetted the information, we received some feedback, and again, another additional question that was brought to our attention was, what's the feedback from the group, from the employees? And we were fortunate enough to receive some feedback from one of the people that attended the meeting, Ms. Cindy Covarrubias, teacher from, let me just make sure I don't, Sunridge Middle School. And if I may, I'd like to show you a short video that includes some clips from the feedback that we received from the employee.
The current health insurance that I have at this moment, it's the Premier, and I have the family plan. Going in, I just thought it's our budget, and we have to find ways. Was I going very skeptical? Yes. Once again, why do we, as the teachers, the custodians, and everybody have to clear a budget that was it us that did that, or that we didn't finance that part, right? And then getting into that and knowing how much we're using money from other accounts to cover our health plan was an aha moment. The unknown is hard to make that change. Is it the same coverage that my plan was giving me? I just learned that it doesn't matter if you get the high deductible to the low deductible, the insurance across the board is the same. It's just what suits me at this point. I didn't get that. That was one of my questions. Why didn't I get this before I was paying so much along the lines of what I'm paying now. Looking at the prices, it makes a huge difference. I walked out as, okay, is there a huge possibility of switching from Premier to the consumer-driven? Yes. Am I more understanding of what I'm looking at? Yes. What I look at in the insurance, once again, across the board, and then just looking at the final numbers when it's approved, how do I benefit out of what I need, and how can I help our district do what they need to get out of where we're in right now? I know it's not just our district that's in shams and in debt. I know it's in the state of Texas. I understand, and we all need to do our part.
I think that's a perfect illustration of what we conveyed last workshop in terms of the feedback that we were receiving from the participants. But again, it's just a first step. It's just that was our first or initial presentation. We wanted to see what makes sense, but we will continue our effort to reach our goal. So the recommendation, a multi-year plan to address health fund deficit, close the enrollment for the Premier plan. Again, as mentioned previously, for those that are currently participating in the Premier plan, if they wish to do so for 2025 plan year, they can do that, but they will need to pay the premium for that particular plan year. And lastly, continue the education throughout what's left of the current plan year, heading over to our annual enrollment month, which is the month of October. At this time, I'd like to answer any questions you might have.
Mr. Carmona, I know in the last board workshop, maybe I missed it right now, did you see for the Premier plan, are you going to freeze that plan for new employees?
No, sir. I'm sorry, Mr. Guerra. So if I understood the question, is the Premier plan going to be available for new enrollment?
Correct.
No, sir. It will be closed enrollment for that particular option.
And you did mention at last board workshop, the last time we had a health increase has been how many years?
Probably around 4 or 5 years. And it was not necessarily significant in terms of what we were trying to accomplish to level the consumption versus the contribution itself.
Questions?
I have a question. So for the multi-year plan to address health fund deficit, what does that look like?
Thank you for the question, Ms. Macias. I know that initially one of the requests or the questions that we received was, can we look at a 2-year, 3-year, 5-year plan? And the more we look at our information, the more that we look at and study what we could possibly be seeing in our next plan year, I think that we would need to have a multi-plan year so we won't limit ourselves to what we can end up, what would the end result be, or what we would be able to offer our employees. If this was to be resolved in a year, then great, that's good news for everyone. But if it's something that's going to require 2 years, 3 years, we would like to have that opportunity, again, to be able to continue to offer our employees what we think it merits throughout the health plan.
One thing that I heard you say, and I don't know if it was today, but the last time, and I liked the video that you showed because that's a misconception that I had. So what I heard is that any of these plans, it still covers the same benefits for our employees. Is that correct?
That is correct. One of the things that I like to remind people of is the same plan. They might have a different name and a different structure, but at the end of the day is pay me now or pay me later. So essentially, we as a consumer, as we become informed, that's part of the decision process that we'll need to become engaged with or in. And I think that's the part that Ms. Covarrubias, once she made the comparison among the three options, realized that was the aha moment. I could have been participating in this particular option that you're bringing at this point, and I just did not realize that until now.
And explain pay me now and pay me later.
Yes. So a lot of people think that because they're paying a higher premium, they're getting a better coverage, and that's not necessarily the case. You might be paying less premium, but you end up paying more deductible, still receiving the same type of coverage, same level of coverage, same level of care. It doesn't mean that you get a lower rated medical treatment per se.
Those are my questions.
Any other questions?
Mr. Carmona, thank you for taking the time for explaining to us thoroughly. Last time it was difficult to understand, but this time you made us understand it. And that being said, I'd like to make a motion to go with scenario D, plan premium rates with a zero health fund balance.
I second.
I have a motion by Mr. Guetta and a second by Ms. Gardea. Are there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Carmona.
Thank you for your time.
Item E, consider approval of resolution designating an officer to calculate tax rate. Ms. Olson?
Good evening again, Vice President, Mrs. Nahara, Interim Superintendent, Mr. Vasquez, board members. The resolution on page 472 is a matter of protocol for truth in taxation. The district is required to designate an officer or employee that will calculate the NNR, which is the no new revenue, and the VATR, which is voter approved tax rate election rate. The district is not planning a VATR or VATRE for the 2024 tax year, but the district is required to calculate the rate. Administration recommends approval of the resolution to designate an officer or employee to calculate required tax rates as presented.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Olson, just so that, does the resolution have to be read out loud?
No.
No? Okay. I have a motion by Ms. Macias and a second by Ms. Gardea. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Olson.
Thank you.
Item F, consider approval of a resolution to approve list of current brokers, investment pools, and investment training sources. Mr. Vargas.
Yes, ma'am. Again, good evening. Vice President Nájera, Mr. Vasquez, members of the board. As you'll see in your package, a resolution to approve a list of current brokers, the investment pools, and investment training sources. It is the same ones that we currently have, and the Public Investment Act requires for the board to approve and adopt the list of brokers, investment pools, and independent sources of training that investment officers go through. So in your package, you'll see a long list. It is a long list, but we currently seem to be working well with those lists, so we'd like to keep as it is. And also, as far as the training, the investment officers, due to the Public Funds Investment Act, requires the investment officers to attend training once every 2 years, and with 8 hours of training. And the sources are listed as you see, those 4 sources. We like to keep those as they are as well. So administration is requesting your approval to use these sources and these pools as it is.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Guetta and a second by Ms. Gardea. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Vargas.
Thank you.
Item G, consider approval of final deductive change order and final contract payment for auxiliary gymnasium improvements. Ms. Fierro?
Good evening, Vice President Nájera, members of the board, Mr. Vasquez. Liliana Fierro, Director of Facilities and Construction. The Department of Facilities and Construction has completed our due diligence on the auxiliary gymnasium improvements, restrooms, water fountains, package 1, and presents the following original contract sum: $1,156,328. a deductive change order of $95,657.99, final contract sum $1,060,670.01, and a final payment of $53,033.50 for board acceptance.
Motion to approve?
I second.
I have a motion by Ms. Gardea and a second by Ms. Macias. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries.
Thank you.
And we also have item H, consider approval of final deductive change order and final contract payment for auxiliary gymnasium improvements, package 3. Ms. Fierro.
Thank you, Ms. Nájera. The Department of Facilities and Construction has completed our due diligence on the auxiliary gymnasium improvements, restrooms, water fountains, package 3, and presents the following original contract sum: $1,388,617, a deductive change order of $92,787.30, final contract sum $1,295,829.70, and a final payment of $64,791.49 for board acceptance.
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Gardea and a second by Mr. Guerra. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Fierro. Item I, consider approval of delegate and alternate for the TASB Convention Delegate Assembly.
Nominate Ms. Macias as the delegate and Ms. Gardea as the alternate.
I second that.
I'm honored.
I have a motion by Mr. Guerra and a second by Ms. Nájera to name Ms. Macias as our delegate and Ms. Gardea as our alternate. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. And all those opposed? And the motion approves. Thank y'all so very much.
I'm gonna submit a bullying hotline.
You know what? It does come with lunch, so. Item J, discussion and possible action to nominate a local board member to fill the vacancy of the Region 19 on the Texas Association of School Boards. It was a difficult decision not to run for re-election for the TASB board, but that being made, TASB opened the nominations to any board member within our Region 19. Marlene Bullard from Tornille ISD has completed her application process and at this time is asking for our endorsement. So that is for the board to consider Marlene's position to serve as the Region 19 TASB director.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Macias and a second by Ms. Gardea. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries.
Ms. Nájera?
Yes, sir.
I would like to thank you for serving on TASB board for all
Yes.
these years. You served our district very well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Guerra. It was my honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nájera.
Thank you. Item 10, executive session. A, the meeting is to be closed for discussion with legal counsel regarding the status of DIA complaint of Dr. N. Carmen, status of sale of real property to Provident Realty Advisors, Inc., to consider administrative recommendations for principal position at Desert Wind Pre-K 8 School, Escantria STEAM Academy, and assistant principal position at Sierra Vista Elementary School, Colonel John O. Inzer Middle School, Specialist Rafael Hernandez III Middle School, and Americas High School under Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, 551.072, and 551.074. The time is 8:27.
School District has more than 48,000 students in 51 campuses, but we're not just a number. Here, we're cared for, we're loved, we belong. Team SISD is a true Texas public school district that gives us unforgettable memories, traditions, experiences, and the opportunities we need to have a bright, successful future. Want to be a health professional? Once a bulldog, always a bulldog. Want to design skyscrapers? There's an empire for that. Have you heard the early bird gets the worm? Well, that's why they fear the falcons. We don't just rise. This is Sparta. We earn our horns and trailblaze and overcome to be the first and the best. I know. It sounds extra, but it's just our flex. For over 60 years, Socorro ISD has set its sights on our future with vision, innovation, investing, building, and planning to prepare us for the real world. These are our opportunities, and we will seize them.
So our dual language program consists of two different types of models. We have the 90-10, which is for pre-K students. And this is where the students are in a classroom with one teacher. Depending on their first language, they're gonna get 90% of the instruction in English, 10% in Spanish, or vice versa, 90% in Spanish, 10% in English. And then we have our 50-50 model. And this starts from kinder all the way to 5th grade. And this is where the students have two teachers where they're learning both languages, English and Spanish, 50 and 50% of the time, depending on the taught subject and language.
I can tell you it's full of excitement and engagement. Here the students get to create, they get to express themselves, and they have the opportunity to do it in both languages.
Porque han empezado desde chiquitos, entonces ya llevan mucho tiempo ellos en colaboración con los demás alumnos. Y sí se ve que entre ellos mismos se apoyan. Tenemos parejas que son nuestras parejas bilingües, que viene siendo la fortaleza en un idioma, ya sea en inglés o el español, y están con otra persona que es el opuesto. Entonces, entre ellos mismos se apoyan, ya sea en el aula que viene siendo español o en el aula que viene siendo en inglés.
I'm proud to say that we have had great success. Right now, we currently have serve 4 campuses. Our students have been very successful. So the goal of the program is that the students become biliterate and bilingual. By the time they're in the program, they do achieve great academic level success. And of course, they stay in touch with their culture as well. Once the student completes 5 full years in the dual language program, then they can qualify for a Spanish high school credit.
Regardless if they're in the English classroom or the Spanish classroom, they have the same equal opportunities to practice all their domains, the speaking, the listening, the reading, writing.
Ellos colaboran mucho, son niños que siempre van a estar hablando, siempre van a estar participando. Cuando una persona entra a nuestro salón, nunca va a ser un salón que no se escucha nada, y creo que es lo que a ellos les gusta interactuar. Tenemos muchas manualidades, utilizan mucho sus manos y ellos pueden colaborar juntos, y es algo muy especial que hacen ellos, esa relación también con ellos mismos.
They start working with cognates and false cognates. No se dice así, se dice así. Oh, now I remember, I saw it with Miss Gonzalez. Oh, no, wait, I saw in first grade, Miss Castro told me that it was this. So they start coming, and you start seeing them coming together. It's amazing because they start connecting everything.
SISD is truly the district that offers many opportunities for our students. Dual language is not just opening doors for our students to become bilingual and biliterate, but it's opening doors for their future.
Socorro ISD makes learning innovative. We fly drones, we take center stage, we take care of the environment, and we learn to take care of our health and become lifelong learners. Our new elementary academies offer unique programs to inspire, challenge, and prepare us for success. Register now at SISD.net and seize your opportunity in Team SISD.
The Socorro Independent School District is committed to helping all students find their voice and achieve their highest potential. We understand the important role that families play in our children's education, and we welcome you, our military-connected families, to Team SISD. With 46 schools designated Purple Star campuses by the Texas Education Agency, the most of any school district in the El Paso region, Team SISD is committed to supporting the unique needs of military-connected students and their families through a variety of resources and services. These include a comprehensive website for military families, a campus transition program, multiple special events, military family life counselors, and a military liaison at each of our 51 campuses who all reach out and serve our military-connected families. Team SISD stays in close contact with our Fort Bliss counterparts to access and share information, ideas, and trainings to provide the best education for our 6,500 plus military-connected students. To assist with the social and emotional needs of our students, we maximize support services by engaging with our school counselors, including our military and family life counselor, and local agencies such as NAMI, the YWCA, Child Guidance Center, local daycare providers, and the Paso del Norte and Meadows Family Leadership Council. We value and greatly appreciate the sacrifice our military parents make for our country, our community, and our children. We salute you, and we are delighted to have the opportunity to serve you and your family in our district. Thank you for being part of our district and helping us ensure that Team SISD is the right choice for endless opportunities.
The mission of Career and Technical Education is to collaborate with business and industry and post-secondary education to provide programs that will build academic as well as career skills for our students, provide them an opportunity to earn an industry certification, and provide them leadership opportunities through career and technical education student organizations, and provide them opportunities to get exposure into the world of work prior to graduating, and with the hopes that they obtain a job that is better than minimum wage, and hopefully wage earning that they can support themselves or a family, as well as prepare them to go to college and successfully graduate from college.
The Architecture Academy is like a family that a lot of people you go to in a safe place to just learn about architecture. I've gotten to do a lot of things. We do models and sketches. We were able to do different competitions. I get to do floor plans, site plans. I really like landscape, and I think that's something I'm going to get into and study in the future. And we get to also do interior design.
Well, we have 45 different programs through CTE to support different career interests from all the 16 career clusters. We offer dual credit programs for them in many of our programs. We have started implementing pathways in technology early college high schools. We'll have 12 of them starting next year.
We like to study, the basics of firefighting, building construction, because firefighting isn't just, putting water on a fire and it goes out. Firefighting is way deeper into the aspect. There's foam, electrical stuff, equipment, fire trucks, there's different fire trucks. A lot of stuff that, the public doesn't know about. We're very hands-on too. Like everybody has their own gear here. We train a lot with the gear, our hoses. We learn how to use ladders. We were basically being taught what we need to know when we're going to the training academy.
I really do want to do this in the future. One of the competitions, we were able to go to a university, and I was able to experience the college life there, and I'm really looking forward to going to the University of Arizona. I want to study architecture and probably minor in landscaping, and I'm really excited to start my years there.
It's opened me up to many opportunities, really exploring who I am, going deeper into who I am. It opens many doors. I was able to bring the confidence out of myself, meet new classmates, and build bonds with them, and I loved every single bit about it.
I feel like it's a great opportunity because I was able to explore different sections in architecture and get to be able to network with real architects here in El Dorado High School. And I feel like it's an amazing opportunity because we're given the freedom to choose what pathway we want to study in and explore more.
Take the chance. We all live once. You're going to meet a lot of new friends. You're going to meet a lot of new people. You're going to build relationships with people, and ultimately, you're going to become a better person because of this program. And it's fun. It's fun. We're a very fun program.
El Paso parents, pre-K to 12th grade registration is now open for new and returning students. Team SISD's pre-K programs offer engaging hands-on learning for young students to build a solid foundation in their academic journey. Join our top academic academies, award-winning fine arts programs, championship athletics, and career and technical education with highly qualified teachers. Register at sisd.net/enrollment and seize your opportunity in Team SISD. Hello, and welcome to SISD TV News, where we deliver the latest news about the Socorro Independent School District. In today's segment, we'll take a look at this past spring semester's athletic and academic commitments. In our top story, Project Search celebrated the induction of its 6th cohort into the program. The program assists students with disabilities in their last year of high school to learn employability skills and transition from high school into the workforce. The students will participate in a year-long internship at the Hospitals of Providence East Campus.
The national average for individuals with disabilities, their employment is below at 20%. And because of this program, we are employing, we've had several years where we have 100%. Our current cohort, we already have 4 students employed, and we're still working to get all of them employed.
Independence is a crazy thing. So once you give a student, any student, the ability to believe in themselves, the growth is miles. It's leaps and bounds. So our students come in shy and timid, but they leave here believing in their own ability. So they are able to voice their needs, their concerns, and can take that into the workforce and have a productive and wonderful life in society. And that's our goal.
I'm so excited to work in the hospital, and also I want to be independent, read books, and helping all people.
I could learn how to work, how to be independent, and earn my own money.
Five Socorro High School students in the Health Professions Academy signed their letters of intent to pursue their nursing career with Texas Tech University Health Science Center.
The program here does an amazing job. They were accepted because they were the cream of the crop, not because they came from Socorro, not because they earned it. And they knew what they wanted, and here they are, and here they finished, and we're looking forward to seeing them in fall for 2024.
I'm so happy. I'm relieved that the 4 years have passed, but I'm more excited to start like a new chapter in my life.
Six RAM students signed their letters of intent to continue their STEM and academic careers at universities across the state.
Well, not only are we known throughout the city of El Paso, but now we're recognized in the entire state of Texas. And so it's just these very determined students who are willing to do extra work, a ton of extra hours after school, weekends, even Sundays. And so the work never ends here on the team, and all of their efforts are finally being recognized now when they're graduating.
It's honestly unbelievable. I'm really grateful. It feels like all my hard work has paid off. In the end, just like I've learned that never give up. Just keep working towards your goals. Sometimes it does get hard, but like in the end, if you just keep trying, it'll eventually pay off. And so far, it has. So it's amazing.
Team SISD student-athletes signed their letters of intent to play at the college level.
I've been thinking about this, been dreaming about this for about 16 years. Been working for it since I was able to walk, so it means a lot.
All the hard work coming from starting playing football at 4 years old, working until I'm 18 now. Every year, every day, every second that I put into football paid off very well.
Every day, countless hours. Every day in football practice, waking up 5 in the morning, it takes a lot, and then just going to every football game, all the hits, just going to all the games. It takes a lot to get to the end, and I'm finally here playing college football. It means the world to me.
I'm very excited. It's like a dream come true. I've been waiting so long to pick a college and sign, and I found one that was a perfect fit for me, and it had everything that I needed, and they wanted me just as bad as I wanted to go there.
Today's really special. I mean, just to showcase, my talent at the next level. It's truly a blessing. All my hard work that I put into this sport has truly paid off, so it's awesome.
It makes me feel really happy, and then I'm very thankful for my parents because they're the ones who pushed me to get to this level, and they never gave up on me, as well as all my coaches I had in my career.
I'm so excited. I can't believe this is coming true. Just dreaming about it, and it's almost time. It's pretty amazing.
I'm super excited to be able to actually sign because I never thought I was going to be able to make it, and it's always been a dream since I was a little girl.
I'm excited, and I guess I'm happy that I'm going to school. I'm making my parents proud.
It feels great. It's been a really long journey, and I'm very grateful for the opportunities given to me to play at the next level.
It definitely feels good. I'm most excited. This is probably one of the most best things I've felt in a while, and I'm ready to give it my all and pursue my dream.
But I'm extremely blessed to be here, to have the opportunity to continue playing, because like they had mentioned, only 7% of athletes play at the next level, and I'm just blessed to be able to be one of them.
Running is an individual sport. Whatever you put into it, you're going to get out of it. And obviously I put in a lot of hard work, but it's helped me get to this point in my life where I'm going to be able to run at the D1 level.
To have this opportunity to sign, coming out from high school and pursuing our dreams furthermore, and I can't wait what's next for us in the future.
Ever since I was little, I wanted to play the next level, play with bigger people, better people, so I'm excited for it.
I feel amazing. It's bittersweet just because I am going to have to leave my family in the next couple months, but it's very rewarding for sure.
That's our show for today. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the latest in the Socorro Independent School District. Make sure to follow us on X with the handle @Socorro ISD. Be sure to friend us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Team SISD, and visit our website. Thank you again, and see you next time.
En el distrito de Socorro, aprender es innovador. Volamos drones, tomamos el centro de escenario, cuidamos nuestro medio ambiente y aprendemos a cuidar nuestra salud para ser mejores aprendices de por vida. Las academias de primaria de SISD ofrecen programas únicos para inspirarnos, desafiarnos y prepararnos para el éxito. Regístrate ahora y aprovecha tu oportunidad en el equipo SISD.
Welcome to our beautiful Sun City of El Paso, Texas. I'm Rosie Rodriguez, proud school counselor at Chester Jordan Elementary, home of the Lions. We currently serve 791 students, from our littlest Lions in pre-kinder to our extraordinary preteens in 5th grade. At Chester Jordan, we take pride in serving a diverse community with a large population of military and economically disadvantaged students. Because of this diverse community, we take great pride in providing a comprehensive school counseling program that is ASCA-based and data-driven to benefit all students' academics, college and career readiness, and social-emotional well-being. Simply put, taking care of the whole child. I now welcome you to Chester Jordan Elementary, where I show you what a comprehensive school counseling program has done to the positive culture of our campus. Welcome.
Ms. Rodriguez, when I started here at the leadership team, she was one of the first ones who kind of took me under her wing. And that just goes to show that she's not just about, a school counselor for students. She's a school counselor for everybody, for faculty, staff, the community. She's one of the most selfless people that I have ever come in contact with.
She is an amazing human being that truly is heart. She loves the students, the teachers, the staff. She shows it every day. I think first of all with her smile and her welcoming demeanor. She has such an amazing energy. People want to go to her.
One of my top priorities was to build relationships with students, teachers, staff, and parents to know how to best provide support. Staying visible through classroom lessons, making myself available, and providing opportunities to connect truly allowed for these relationships to flourish. And flourish they did. Providing support to students through classroom lessons, individual counseling, check-ins, small group counseling, and referrals to outside resources allowed for equitable access to opportunities that may have otherwise gone unserved. Bottom line, I want our campus to know I am here for them.
She's always in the forefront, ready to help out,
in any way that she can. You don't even have to ask her, and she's already ready and willing.
So there's a lot of wonderful things about Ms. Rodriguez. She's a wonderful counselor. She's always helping us in small groups, in relationship problems, and everything, in every way possible.
In an effort to address the whole child, a multifaceted campus-wide SEL initiative was established, advocating for some of the instructional time to be dedicated to SEL time allowed more learning to happen. These lessons became the foundation of classroom expectations and behavior incentives. Becoming an SEL-focused campus brought on a culture of growth and positivity. Including all stakeholders was the next step, so we held SEL nights to help parents and the community know how to better support our little lions.
She goes beyond the four walls of this campus. She touches the parents' heart. She provides support, tools, whatever they need. It really is about, for when I think of Rosie and the way she treats our campus, it's about the whole child. And she still has that for our teachers and staff too.
Advocating for students, teachers, and parents is just as important as advocating for the school counseling profession. They truly come hand in hand. I collaborate with all stakeholders to work with and for students. In addition, I have had the opportunity to implement a comprehensive school counseling program that has been recognized several times at LASCA, as well as recently receiving the RAMP recognition from ASCA. Additionally, not only have our students and campus benefited from this advocacy piece, but many school counselors from all over the United States. I had the privilege to present to school counselors from our district, the state of Texas, and the nation. This shared knowledge will help promote school counseling programs everywhere.
I love her so much. She's really special to me. She's one of the persons that I could always count on. Like, she'll always get my back and everything. I just don't know how to express my love.
She's not just a counselor and a colleague, she's a friend, and I mean that with everybody. She's just an overall amazing person, and we're so blessed to just have her.
Ms. Rodriguez expresses her love not only verbally but physically to the students. What I mean by that is every day she reminds them, students, remember that I love you. And I just want to say, Ms. Rodriguez, we love you and we appreciate everything that you do here at Chester Jordan.
Padres del Paso, estudiantes nuevos y actuales ya se pueden inscribir en el Distrito de Socorro para prekinder a último año. El equipo SISD ofrece un aprendizaje práctico e innovador donde sus pequeños estudiantes crezcan en su trayectoria académica. Únase a nuestras academias académicas de primer nivel, programas deportivos, bellas artes y educación profesional y técnica. Regístrese en línea y aprovecha tu oportunidad en el equipo SISD. Hello and welcome to SISD TV News, where we deliver the latest news about the Socorro Independent School District. In our top story, Congresswoman Veronica Escobar met with Socorro High School senior government students and teachers to share how she got involved in government and how they can also get active in politics.
It was super important for me because not a lot of my peers or students are that motivated to get involved or know the opportunities that are here present, such as being in her Congressional Youth Advisory Council or finding their voice to advocate for social issues that they're very passionate about. So it was important for me to welcome her here so that my fellow peers can say, hey, if she can do it, then so can I.
It was very, very insightful. It is a very kind of general knowledge, but it's just something not enough people listen to. And I'm so happy she was able to reiterate it because I'm hoping that even with her having a higher chair and power, might actually inspire people to fully listen to the other and have each heart connect so that we can stop butting heads.
Graduating SISD seniors from all 6 comprehensive high schools who are attending UTEP or El Paso Community College were able to register for courses, meet with admission counselors, and gain valuable insight into college life at both UTEP and EPCC.
Super important that our school district continues to provide our students, bringing the colleges into our campuses to facilitate issues with questions, transportations, and allowing them to be excited of what's to come and to be able to meet their future goals.
So we do have El Paso Community College and UTEP offering students registration with their financial aid. They'll walk away with a school schedule with their first class. It's exciting to see those opportunities for our trailblazers as they leave over to the college bound.
It's so important for us to go meet the students where they are, right? We can't be passive and wait for them to come to us. We know how important higher ed is to students. And so we feel it's our responsibility as in being good community members and understanding the importance of education in our community and in these students' lives to take these services to them. So we appreciate it. We appreciate the partnership with the school district, with our four-year partners, the University of Texas at El Paso. And we come here with that singular vision to enroll students and get them continuing on their higher education path.
The students are very engaged this morning. They're excited. We're playing games with them. We're also being informative so that they know that they can trust us and that we can start building that relationship with them or continue working on our relationship with them, because we have been coming to the school for other visits and whatnot, and so we really want it to be so that by the time they're at UTEP, they feel safe and comfortable with us and that they're ready.
I actually got my schedule before everybody else in the school, so I was very thankful because I want to do stenography, so I got to do my classes, I got to register, talk to, the counselors, just any questions I had, they were helping me.
It was really nice because there was a lot of help and a lot of teachers that came together to help us, and it was really nice.
SISD kinder through 5th grade students participated in the 7th annual Math Bee at Eastlake High School.
We're really trying to get our students ready, career ready, college ready, and we know that it starts from elementary, and so that sets the strong foundation.
Students had 3 seconds to mentally solve problems using number sense strategies.
I was nervous, but I was happy because I was going into 3rd place, but I lost a little in 3rd place because the last number, I forgot it, and then the time ran out.
The student with the highest number of correct answers from each grade level was declared the winner.
I feel like it's very important for the district to do these things because starting from pre-K or kinder and then just building them up, I'm sure it's going to help them out through their career or their life.
SISD sophomores, juniors, and seniors participated in this year's College Career and Job Expo. The event gave students a chance to meet with colleges, technical schools, local businesses, and industry partners to explore future career opportunities.
It's important for them to get out and actually see the different career opportunities that are available for them out in the community. If they're looking for a job, this is the time to look for one.
I'm here today because I want to know more about other job opportunities or internships that I can do, that I can know what my career is or what I want to do in my life.
I'm just really looking around to see what the different schools are here or different job opportunities, like internships or anything for like summer.
I see a lot of stands that have caught my attention and that has made me consider other choices besides my veterinary career. But I really think that students will really benefit coming here and just taking a look at these stands, even if they might think that they're not interested, but they might be interested after they speak to the people at the stand.
Team SISD received a grant from Dairy Max to create the beverage breakfast bar and pay for the necessary equipment and ensure that El Dorado High School students enjoy the most important meal of the day for free.
So we're excited about our new breakfast bars that we have for our students at all of our high schools. And this is, of course, breakfast is always free here in Socorro for every student. But what this is a way to grab breakfast quickly and go right to class. So we're focusing the carts on where the main entrance is for our students to grab a quick breakfast and head to class. They don't have to go to the dining room.
This is our first time having something like cool like this, like coffee and smoothies.
So I'm really grateful that they started opening more options.
The Montwood Mentors won a $3,000 grant from the Lead for Change project. The program showcases the growth of students as leaders and funds their ideas for community impact. The Montwood Mentors worked with O'Shea Kelleher Whole Child Academy to teach the importance of mental health awareness. They also presented the school with their check that will help fund field days and continue their journey to explore the importance of friendship and mental health awareness.
I think it's important because they don't always have role models. I mean, we hope they do, but they don't always have them in their home. And so giving these Montwood students an opportunity to come and mentor our students in school, that's just another part of their journey. So it's good for the Montwood students to continue and see their impact on the littles, and it's good for the littles to see where they can go and what they can become as they go into high school.
There's so many projects that are submitted, and we're really happy that we were the ones that were chosen, and that the money's going to be going to a good place.
Team SISD employees showcase their artistic talent at this year's Employee Art Showcase at the District Service Center.
These teachers lead the secret life of creativity. These employees lead the secret life of creativity that sometimes we don't know about. And so sometimes we just need that push to have that deadline and the opportunity to showcase. And so we're hoping to not only give them that push, but also to encourage them if they already have work. Don't just have it locked up in your house. Show it off because it inspires people.
It shows the students that we also have talents and something that they never think about. They're like, oh, you're just a teacher. But you're like, actually, I can do this and this. And it kind of shows them like how we put an example to them. Like, okay, I want to be like you. Not just like in education, but we also have other branches that we explore.
That's our show for today. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the latest in the Socorro Independent School District. Make sure to follow us on X with the handle @Socorro ISD. Also be sure to friend us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Team SISD, and visit our website. Thank you again, and see you next time. This past year has tested us in ways we've never imagined. From navigating uncertainty to overcoming challenges, each of us has played a crucial role in keeping our community strong and resilient. Through it all, one thing has remained clear: our commitment to our students' success. As we reflect on the challenges we faced, we recognize the strength of our unity and the power of being all in. Being all in means more than just showing up. It means giving our best every day, supporting each other, and fostering an environment where every student can thrive. It's about going the extra mile, finding solutions together, and lifting each other up during difficult times. Those who are all in inspire others. They show us what's possible when we refuse to settle for mediocrity. They remind us that greatness lies not in the outcome, but in the journey. The journey of pushing boundaries, overcoming setbacks, and becoming stronger with every step. So as we face the new school year, remember this: life rewards those who are willing to give it their all. Whether you're pursuing a dream, facing a challenge, or simply striving to be the best. Choose to be all in. Because when you are all in, you're a champion for all of us. Students, employees, parents, and families. We are all in for Team ISD.
Socorro Independent School District has more than 48,000 students and 51 campuses, but we're not just a number. Here, we're cared for, we're loved, we belong. Team ISD is a true Texas public school district that gives us unforgettable memories, traditions, experiences, and the opportunities we need to have a bright, successful future. Want to be a health professional? Once a bulldog, always a bulldog. Want to design skyscrapers? There's an empire for that. Have you heard the early bird gets the worm? Well, that's why they fear the falcons. We don't just rise. This is Sparta. We earn our horns and trailblaze and overcome to be the first and the best. I know. It sounds extra, but it's just our flex. For over 60 years, Socorro ISD has set its sights on our future with vision, innovation, investing, building, and planning to prepare us for the real world. These are our opportunities, and we will seize them.
So our dual language program consists of two different types of models. We have the 90-10, which is for pre-K students, and this is where the students are in a classroom with one teacher. Depending on their first language, they're going to get 90% of the instruction in English, 10% in Spanish, or vice versa, 90% in Spanish, 10% in English. And then we have our 50-50 model, and this starts from kinder all the way to 5th grade, and this is where the students have two teachers where they're learning both languages, English and Spanish, 50 and 50% of the time, depending on the taught subject and language.
I can tell you it's full of excitement and engagement. Here the students get to create, they get to express themselves, and they have the opportunity to do it in both languages.
Porque han empezado desde chiquitos, entonces ya llevan mucho tiempo ellos en colaboración con los demás alumnos, y sí se ve que entre ellos mismos se apoyan. Tenemos parejas que son nuestras parejas bilingües, que viene siendo la fortaleza en un idioma, ya sea en inglés o el español, y están con otra persona que es el opuesto. Entonces entre ellos mismos se apoyan, ya sea en el aula que viene siendo español o en el aula que viene siendo en inglés.
I'm proud to say that we have had great success. Right now, we currently serve 4 campuses. Our students have been very successful. So the goal of the program is that the students become biliterate and bilingual. By the time they're in the program, they do achieve great academic level success. And of course, they stay in touch with their culture as well. Once the student completes 5 full years in the dual language program, then they can qualify for a Spanish high school credit.
Regardless if they're in the English classroom or the Spanish classroom, they have the same equal opportunities to practice all their domains, the speaking, the listening, the reading, writing.
Ellos colaboran mucho, son niños que siempre van a estar hablando, siempre van a estar participando. Cuando una persona entra a nuestro salón, nunca va a ser un salón que no se escucha nada, y creo que es lo que a ellos les gusta interactuar. Tenemos muchas manualidades, utilizan mucho sus manos, y ellos pueden colaborar juntos, y es algo muy, muy especial que hacen ellos, esa relación también con ellos mismos.
They start working with cognates and false cognates. No se dice así, se dice así. Oh, now I remember, I saw it with Miss Gonzalez. Oh, no, wait, I saw in first grade, Miss Castro told me that it was this. So they start coming, and you start seeing them coming together. It's amazing because they start connecting everything.
SISD is truly the district that offers many opportunities for our students. Dual language is not just opening doors for our students to become bilingual and biliterate, but it's opening doors for their future.
innovative. We fly drones, we take center stage, we take care of the environment, and we learn to take care of
Back from executive session. The time is 9:08. We will continue with item 11, new business. A, discussion and possible action regarding the sale of real property to Provident Realty Advisors. Mr. Blanco.
Thank you, Vice President Nahara, members of the board, and Superintendent Vasquez. Give you an update on the current status of the transaction with Provident Realty Advisors, Inc. And based on our discussion, I would like to recommend the board consider a motion to authorize the administration and legal counsel to complete the sale of the real property to Provident Realty Advisors, Inc. on the terms discussed in closed session, and authorize the superintendent and board president to execute documents necessary for the closing, assuming that takes place.
Second. I have a motion by Mr. Guetta and a second by Ms. Gardea. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Blanco.
Thank you.
11B, consider approval of administrative recommendations. 1A, Desert Wind Pre-K School. Mr. Vasquez.
Vice President Nahara and members of the board, administration recommends Luis Carrillo to assume the role and responsibilities as the new principal of Desert Wind School.
Motion to approve. Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Guetta and a second by Ms. Gardea. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Item 1B, Escantria STEAM Academy. Mr. Vasquez.
Vice President Nahara and members of the board, administration recommends Irma Ojeda to assume the role and responsibilities as the new principal of Escantria STEAM Academy.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Gardea and a second by Mr. Guetta. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. 2, Assistant Principal A, Sierra Vista Elementary School.
Vice President Nahara, members of the board, administration recommends Jessica Irigoyen Tristan to assume the role and responsibilities as the new assistant principal of the Sierra Vista STEAM Academy.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Gardea and a second by Ms. Macias. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. 2B, Colonel John O. Enzer Middle School.
Vice President Nahara, members of the board, administration recommends Annette Garcia to assume the role and responsibilities as the new assistant principal of Colonel John O. Enzer Middle School.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Gardea and a second by Ms. Macias. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. And assistant principal for specialist Rafael Hernando III Middle School.
Vice President Nahara and members of the board, administration recommends Dr. Danielle Navarez to assume the role and responsibilities as the new assistant principal of Rafael Hernando Middle School.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Gardea and a second by Ms. Macias. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. And last but not least, assistant principal for Americas High School.
Vice President Nahara and members of the board, administration recommends Cassandra Hernandez to assume the role and responsibilities as the new assistant principal at Americas High School.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Macias and a second by Ms. Gardea. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Congratulations to all of our new principals and assistant principals. If there's no further business before this board, we are adjourned. The time is 9:12.